The Israeli military has attacked desperate Palestinians gathering to collect wheat flour in southern Gaza. These are the scenes in al-Mawasi, where an attack has killed at least 5 people and injured dozens more. Israel has allowed more than 100 aid trucks into Gaza since Wednesday. That's nowhere near what's needed to help more than 2 million people. Some of those supplies have been looted and none have reached northern Gaza. The attacks come as the UN is warning Gaza is on the brink of famine. Earlier on Saturday, Israeli attacks killed at least 21 people across the Strip. They targeted the Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza and Khan Yunis in the south. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says the offensive is intensifying with atrocious levels of death and destruction. Let's bring in our correspondent, Hani Mahmoud. He is joining us live from Gaza City. And Hani, just in the last half hour or so, we've been looking at those pictures of people fleeing from aid trucks with smoke rising in the background. What are you hearing about what happened in al-Mawasi?
Well, Elizabeth, these are hungry, traumatized family members who try to get to a point where 80 trucks filled with the flour were stationed on the northern western part of Rafah City, Mawasi area of Rafah City, where they try to reach these 80 trucks to get the flours because of they're hungry, because they haven't eaten for the past 80 days due to the ongoing blockade of the crossings and the prevention of entry of much needed supplies here. This is not the first time we're seeing this is to happen. We've seen that in the past, almost a little over a year from now, the better known as the Flour Massacre on the coastal road, where the Israeli military opened fire on large crowd of people trying to reach to flour bags. And this highlights the risk taken right now. Many people are taking the risk out of desperation. They're not getting necessary amount of the flour or basic supplies to keep them alive or to keep them surviving these difficult conditions. In addition, the aid mechanism delivery proposed by the Israeli military is very difficult and preventing people from getting whatever necessary for their survival. We're talking about the WFP, UNRWA, and other organizations who are not authorized, according to a statement by the WFP, they're not authorized to provide flour bags to households and only to bakeries. But just given how difficult the situation now, given how many people are hungry in central and southern part of the Strip, bakeries are unable to operate at a level to accommodate the large quantity of need, the massive needs of hungry people in the northern part of the Strip. For the past 3 days since the bakery started to operate, many of the people were not able to get their designated 1 pack of bread and went back to their tents and their temporary shelter without any food. So what we're seeing now is out of desperation, where 5 people were killed as the Israeli military struck the area where the 80 trucks were stationed with drone missiles, killing 5 people as they try to stay alive by getting 1 bag of flour.
And that is the latest attack. It happens to be on people starving, but we've seen a number of other attacks in Gaza today, Hani, with the Nuseirat refugee camp in the center, places in Khan Yunis being targeted too.
Absolutely non-stop attacks across the Strip. If it's not direct attacks on civilians, it's the ongoing home demolition of the eastern part of the Gaza Strip. We're talking about areas that used to be densely populated, with many of the residential buildings have turned now into vast fields of rubble just in the eastern part of Gaza City. 2 major neighborhoods, the Zaytun and Shujaiya neighborhood, now add to them the Tufah neighborhood, that have been cleared of many of the residential buildings and the public facilities. And almost these ongoing attacks involve the use of explosive devices by the Israeli military, causing severe or number of injuries across the Strip. But in overnight attacks and early hours of this morning, we're talking close to 21 people have been killed due to ongoing attacks on the residential flats in Khan Yunis city, and a residential flat in Hamad's residential complex, as well as in Nuseirat refugee camp. Of half of this number happen to be women and children, and that's the usual patterns that we are seeing over and over. Many of these attacks are designated to deliberately targeting families inside either their tents or inside their residential homes or temporary shelters they have been staying in for the past months, are also targeted and killed inside these places. Unfortunately, there is we don't see an end in sight to this ongoing tragedy, and keep evolving in each passing hour across the strip. There are more reports of attacks in eastern Gaza on people as they gather at the traffic circle waiting for aid to come in.
Hani, thank you very much for that update. That is Hani Mahmoud with the latest, joining us live from Gaza City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.